I obviously know all the institutional investors in this deal. We all look like idiots. Let's put that on the table, okay? We relied on each other's due diligence, but we also relied on another investment theme that I felt drove a lot of interest in FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried is an American. His parents are American compliance lawyers. There were no other American large exchanges to invest in if you wanted to invest in crypto as an infrastructure play.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have Binance co-founder and CEO CZ calling out Kevin O'Leary and Sam Bankman-Fried for the fraud that FTX imposed on its users and investors. New details are revealed about the failed agreement between the exchanges during FTX's liquidity crisis in November. Kevin O'Leary has been on a media tour recently, running damage control as the former spokesperson for FTX in reassurance that the billions that are missing will be found. O'Leary appeared on CNBC to discuss the state of the investigation, his cooperation with regulatory bodies, as well as address the claims of fraud perpetrated by SBF and FTX prior to its collapse. Let's check out this exchange between Binance CEO CZ, Sam Bankman-Fried, and Kevin O'Leary. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
I recall that conversation, calling it garbage, right here on this show in 2017. That was a time when a New York hotel was being tokenized here, and I was looking at that, and the regulator let me know they were not happy with that idea. And that's when I stepped away from this, because clearly the regulatory environment was not prepared. Then facts changed. I saw the Canadians issue the first ETF with Bitcoin as underlying, Ethereum, then Switzerland opened up, then Australia opened up. And then I said, wait a second, world's changing, I gotta be an investor. And that started my journey. I'm an investor in the largest regulated exchange in Canada, called WonderFi. The wallets are called BitBuy. We're regulated by the OSC. I have my accounts up there. Right. But I felt that getting involved when I was approached with Sam Bankman-Fried, that I could get an inside seat on what was considered then. And I gotta tell you, the institutional interest in FTX on the US equity was unbelievable. The amount of people that approached me saying, how do I get a piece of this deal? And I said at that time, I am a paid spokesperson. I cannot bring you in as an LP. Not a single dollar that I lost is anybody else's money except mine. That's important for me because that's an issue.
How much were you paid?
Total deal was just under $15 million, all in, including a bunch of agents and that I had to pay because I needed SAG-AFTRA release to be able to do commercials for it. And when I did that, I put about 9.7 million into crypto. I think that's what I've lost. It's all at zero. I don't know because my account got scraped a couple of weeks ago. All the data, all the coins, everything. So then I lost the money I invested in the equity as well. Those are zeros too. It was not a good investment, Andrew, okay? I don't make great investments all the time. Luckily, I make more good ones than bad ones. I obviously know all the institutional investors in this deal. We all look like idiots. Let's put that on the table, okay? We relied on each other's due diligence. Look, at the end of the day, to say that there was no CFO is also a bit of a falsehood. This was a nascent industry with a disruptor at its helm, creating positions that didn't have traditional names, okay? That's just the way it was. In retrospect, yes, it's a mistake. However, I feel obliged at this point to go to the end of this, particularly—
What does that mean?
It means that I need to find where the money went. I'm gonna start with my own journey, with my own account. Bankman-Fried reached out to me last Saturday, and I said, look, Sam, I am just one investor, but my account has a zero in it, and there are no accounting records. Where did the money go? And to the extent you can help me, tell me, point me in the direction, because I will, on behalf of every other shareholder, go find where this money is. The next day we talked for over an hour, and he walked me through his scenario, and I learned a lot.
Oh,
now,
so
sorry?
What did you learn?
I learned, first of all, I said, what was the large drawdown of your capital? Where did the cash go? One of the biggest uses of cash was to buy back his shares from Binance, which owns 20% of his exchange. And the reason he had to do that, according to him, was that every time they applied for a license anywhere, the Know Your Client got jammed up with Binance, where the ownership is opaque. and he had to buy it back. That cost him a lot, a couple of $1 billion.
But do you think that he was taking customer funds to do that?
Yeah. Did he take that money from customers to get it?
Well, the only way to answer that question, and I told him, and he agreed. I said, look, Sam, you start this journey with me, and wherever the chips fall, that's on you. Because we're talking about this, I'm going to pursue it. I agreed last night when Pat Toomey called me to sit on that committee next week. I will be a witness there.
You plan to testify?
I've agreed to testify. He called me last night around 8 o'clock. I agreed to testify.
CZ then responded to O'Leary and Sam Bankman-Fried shortly after this interview and sets the record straight as to who's lying and who's telling the truth. It seems $15 million not only changed Kevin O'Leary's mind about crypto, it also made him align with a fraudster. Is he seriously defending Sam Bankman-Fried? We exited FTX a year and a half ago in July of 2021. Since then, FTX invested in a myriad of companies totaling $5.5 billion. On top of that, FTX spent money on Miami Stadium, multiple Super Bowl ads, baseball referees, F1, not to mention massive political donations and luxury real estate. Oh, and reprehensible misuse of customer funds. Worse than losing $15 million, you'd think that being used as the poster child for one of the greatest financial crimes in history would make Kevin O'Leary think twice before taking Sam at his word again. But clearly not, based on his appearance on CNBC. CZ then goes after O'Leary for not reading the writing on the wall and says, unlike Kevin O'Leary, we continue to do due diligence even after we make an investment. As an early investor in FTX, we became increasingly uncomfortable with Alameda and SBF and initiated the exit process more than a year and a half ago. Sam was so unhinged when we decided to pull out as an investor that he launched a series of offensive tirades at multiple Binance team members, including threatening to go to extraordinary lengths to make us pay. We still have those text messages. He then goes on to say that shortly after that, Sam began investing in friends in high places, from media to policymakers to celebrities like Kevin O'Leary, and he used that network to manipulate public opinion, including attacking me and others in the industry. My ethnicity was a focus of those attacks, and Kevin O'Leary signaled his intention to continue those attacks in the media and will likely repeat them in next week's Senate hearing. I'm Canadian, and Binance is not a Chinese company. You don't have to be a genius to know something don't smell right at FTX. They were 1/10 of our size, yet outspent us 100 to 1 on marketing and partnerships, fancy parties in the Bahamas, trips across the globe, and mansions for all of their senior staff, and his parents. He concludes by mentioning that Binance has more secured registrations and licenses globally than any other exchange, including FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried then joins the conversation, replying to CZ's tweet saying, "You won, CZ. There's no need to lie now about the buyout. We initiated conversations around buying you out, and we decided to do it because it was important for our business. And while I was frustrated with your negotiation tactics, I chose to still do it. You threatened to walk away at the last minute if we didn't kick in an extra $75 million. We did it anyway because this just made us feel more confident. We didn't want Binance on our cap table. But again, none of this is necessary. You won. Why are you lying about this now? Among other things, as you know, you didn't have the rights to pull out as an investor unless we chose to buy you out. Much of the tokens and equity were still locked." CZ then replied to Sam saying, "Sam, not that it matters now. You also can't force us to sell if we don't want to. Also, we have the veto right to block any further fundraising you were doing. Never used or mentioned it. It was never a competition or fight. No one won. Don't try to tell your friends to focus on us. Focus on yourself. You should have learned that by now." What do you think about this exchange between CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried, and Kevin O'Leary's position now that the FTX picture is becoming more clear? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.